It's Moo Man.
Moo Man. Moo Man?
This is not a dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Moo Man. It is Moo Man on the mic.
Yes, thank y'all once again. It is your man's Moo Man on the mic, back with another episode 33 of the Initiative Podcast. 34 of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything celebrity, world news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's go. Okay, so I know y'all heard that little mishap right there. Yes, it's the 34th episode. Shout out goes to Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you why my shout out goes to Donald Trump. Okay, I know a lot of people are on the train and the sickness of hating him for the sake of hating him, no matter what he does, even though he's going after child traffickers, even though he's ending potentially 2 wars, and even though he's potentially changing the scope of banking around the world forever. No. Why I give him the shout out today is that Dubai lights up Burj Khalifa in red, white, and blue, honoring Trump's visit to the UAE. Okay, now if that's not a sign of country peace, if that's not a sign of at least a little bit of gratitude and graciousness and gratification of peace itself across the planet, I don't know what is. Saudi Arabia, tallest building in the world, and still in construction, of course. But that's amazing to me. You see what I'm saying? Because I haven't known any other time they've done that towards the U.S. They usually hate us. All right. The last time they did that was 7 months ago when they lit up with the Lebanon flag and the quote of UAE stands with Lebanon. That was 7 months ago. All right. So that lets you know the kind of 5-dimensional chess, as I've been calling it throughout the episodes, that we have and that we're seeing. Because if they did that for Lebanon and now they're doing it for the U.S., the talks between Lebanon must be going great as well. A lot of things behind the scenes and underground, but what's on the surface is what we can expose. What's on the surface is what we are told, and what's on the surface is what we already know. So shout out to Donald Trump. Okay, let's get into the headline hero. All right, our Mental Health Awareness Month, headline hero, you already know. So there's 2 slogans for May and for mental health awareness, right? One comes from the city program, which says turn awareness into action. That's what I've been doing. And another one comes from a different program, SHOP program, which says you matter, your mind, your voice, your wellness. And those both, I couldn't agree with more. You see what I'm saying? We have to turn our awareness of our mental health disorders and our mental health sensitivities into action. You see what I'm saying? The action to destroy the mental health disorder of racism and prejudice, and the actions to heal, ultimately, the mental health disorders of everything else. You know what I mean? Eating healthy, working out, healthy mind states, and again, just people to talk to. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, by all means, inbox me, hit me up, whatever you want. I am completely available. All right? Straight up. Let's get into this headline hunt. Okay, here we go. Headline hunting. Adin Ross claims he's lost millions in brand deals after offensive Deutsche rant. Okay, Adin Ross went off on Deutsche during a recent live stream, labeling her an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit. It's hard not to take that racial, right? Adin Ross is claiming that he lost out on multiple million-dollar brand deals due to his fiery criticism of Deutsche during a recent live stream. And I'm pretty sure he's going to say, oh, my freedom of rights or my freedom of speech are being violated. Oh, you have freedom of speech, but when it's hate speech, potentially, or when it's you trying to destroy and defame somebody's character because you don't like her, you know what I'm saying? Kind of hard to take that to the obvious. Speaking with DJ Academics, Ross reflected on his vitriolic attack on the Alligator Bites Never Heal rapper. He also complained about the Timeless remix. I'm not joking, bro. His words. Stop listening to her music. Playboy Cardi and Abel. Why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it, he continued, as if he knows anything about music, or as if he's even in the game like that. I don't understand why Adin Ross still has a platform. Us as a community, black people, we should drop Adin Ross now. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously he's not down with the culture. Obviously he's not submitted to our amazing creativity worldwide. No, his racism is showing. All right, so we need to keep that one in mind. Moving on, headline hunting. Smokey Robinson's lawyer has denied sexual assault accusations from 4 of the singer's former housekeepers. I can't believe Smokey Robinson, the legend, is going through this. Smokey Robinson recently made headlines for a scrapped biopic that he wanted to work out with Terrence Howard. But see, now that they named Terrence Howard, and then people's been coming at Terrence Howard a lot lately. He's been posting a lot about airing out a couple things that he know lately that arrived before a much more pressing and scandalous developments. Okay, a sexual assault lawsuit from 4 alleged former housekeepers, and this is amazing that this just came about. For those unaware, the lawsuit against Smokey Robinson emerged earlier this month. 4 anonymous women claimed that they were his housekeepers and accused him of sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, and gender violence. They reportedly seek millions of dollars in damages currently, right now. Okay, Smokey Robinson's lawyer denied these claims. His words: as this case progresses, the evidence, the crucial element that guides us, will show that this is simply an ugly method of trying to extract money from an 85-year-old American icon. $50 million to be exact. $50 million, Christopher Frost repeatedly stated. Through his process, we have seen the bizarre theatrics of yesterday's news conference as the plaintiff's attorneys outlined vile false allegations against Mr. and Mrs. Robinson, trying to enlist the public as an unwitting participant in the media circus that they are trying to create. Okay, this is ridiculous. 50 million, that's Club Shay Shay numbers. All right, and if it's true, then it's true. It is what it is. I will be heartbroken because another black legend, Smokey Robinson, has pulled himself into the same circus that is now surrounding him with a whole case. Meanwhile, the Detroit native reportedly plans to file to dismiss the lawsuit and respond on his own words. His legendary career is now under scrutiny, although it has nothing to do with his alleged actions. We will see what this criminal investigation results in. Smokey Robinson, man, like I said, if it's not true, go to war with these people, because the targeting of black men, from what it appears to seem like black high-level celebrities with high-level money, seems to be the case. But then when you do peel back these onion layers, it starts to get bitter. It makes you want to cry. You see what I'm saying? And it gets pretty violent. And it's like, if these things have been hidden under the wraps, you know how bad that makes us look as black men? Okay, I know we know that as black men, and I know the world knows that because we're the most hated human on the planet. Okay, next to the black woman. It's just crazy. Now, I know that if there's anybody younger listening to my podcast, let me give you some history on Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson's ascent to the musical royalty began in the late 1950s when he formed the Miracles, okay, with hits like Shop Around, You've Really Got a Hold on Me, and The Tracks of My Tears. Okay, Robinson and the Miracles laid the groundwork for what would become Motown sound, the Motown sound. Okay, I know y'all gotta research our Motown sounds and research what came out of Motown. That was a legendary moment in the legendary culture of hip hop. It was a blend of soul, pop, and R&B that would captivate audiences worldwide. As a songwriter and producer, Robinson's geniuses lay in his lyrical eloquence and innovative music production. He crafted songs for his group and other Motown artists, influencing American music direction during the 1960s and beyond. And we already know, during the 1960s, as a people, as a black nation, what were we going through? All right, we're going through, voting rights. We're going through civil rights movements. We're going through the moon landing 9 years later after that, and the assassination of MLK a couple years after that. You see what I'm saying? Robinson penned hits for other artists, including My Girl for The Temptations, Ain't That Particular for Marvin Gaye. This talent has earned him a place in the Songwriters Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, cementing his status as a musical icon, okay? I'm not understanding. I don't understand why this is happening to the legends, but it is what it is. We're going to keep it moving. Headline hunting. NBA YoungBoy announced his first ever headline tour, and tickets are going sale soon. NBA YoungBoy will be embarking on his first ever headline tour later this year, and he just got out the joint, ladies and gentlemen. He announced the 2025 Massa Tour, Make America Slime Again, in a social media post on Thursday. The 27-city tour will begin in Dallas, Texas on September 2nd at American Airlines Center. From there, YoungBoy will perform in Houston, Los Angeles, Oakland, Phoenix, Denver, Chicago, Brooklyn, Boston, Philly, Detroit, Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, among others, before wrapping up with the homecoming show in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center on October 19th. Shout out to NBA young boy. You know what I'm saying? He's getting back focused. Hopefully his mind has been evolving. Hopefully his time in the joint again has given him a new energy to transform himself into an example of the positive and not so much of the negative. I mean, I think he knows that enough, right? I mean, how long can you really stay in the darkness and the shadows of your own sins or the sins of others because of popularity? Nah, I don't think not too long, especially in this day and age now that there's a new frequency occurring in which truth and lights are now coming to the surface in the forefront. But let's get into the back of the house headline. Okay, we are in the back of the house headline. Revolt. Yes, I know Puff Daddy used to own it. Whatever his name wants to call himself now. Revolt launches the People's Brief news and commentary series hosted by Lene Vinay. Okay, this is an article by Angelique Jackson. The new weekly series premieres on May 20th and is designed to shake up traditional news formats. According to a press release announcing the project on the People's Brief, Vinay will break down top headlines from her district perspective and lived experiences, providing coverage that blends incisive analysis, satirical commentary, and real-world perspectives to engage a new generation of viewers. I am excited for this because she is amazing. They picked the right one, you know what I'm saying, to head this up. Okay, Vinay is a 3-time NAACP Image Award nominee, best known for her Parking Lot Pimpin' digital series, all right, where she offered compelling, authoritative, and fearless takes on race, history, and power dynamics. The show also featured her trademark intro, "I'ma keep it black, but I'ma keep it brief." All right, I know y'all heard that before, and I know you heard someone else say that before if you haven't heard it coming from her. All right, and we're talking about Revolt, okay, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm gonna get into the details of Revolt in a second, but again, let me give you a little bit more details on Vinay. Vinay is a multi-hyphenate talent, okay, a performer, a poet, influencer, writer, and actor from Atlanta, Georgia, and rising force in media and culture. A graduate of Spelman College and Boston University with a master's degree in African American studies, Vinay has built a dedicated audience online, also hosting the long-form video series The Let Out and a podcast called Femtime, both of which center the voices of people of color and continue conversations about culture, mental health, and identity. She is represented by Color Creative. All right? Okay? That's who Lene Vinay is. Okay, and I'm sorry, Lene Vinay, if you ever hear this episode, and if I butchered your name a little bit, I'm sorry, but you are a icon to me. I've been following your work for some time, all right, and this is just amazing that now she's heading up a news brief. So Revolt TV is now primarily owned by its employees, by the way. Okay, as y'all know, Puff Daddy, he had sold all of his shares out the minute all of this that he's going through now dropped. You see what I'm saying? In the very beginning, he knew the kind of heat that was coming his way, so we sold all them shares. Either sell all them shares or each one of his shares tank, and he lost all that money. You see what I'm saying? And he better not have leveraged it. You know what I mean? There's interest on leverage. You know what I mean? That people would have to pay back. I'm certain of this. All right. So Revolt TV is now primarily owned by his employees. Like I said, he sold his stake in the company. The employees became the largest shareholder group. The DeTavio Samuels is the CEO of Revolt, and other shareholders, including individuals who have been in the company for a long time. I am looking forward to the absolute transformation and overhaul of Revolt TV. It's always had the potential to be great, only just because of the people that surround it. It's always had the potential to be very big and major, especially in black media, black news, as we don't have many outlets as it is. I mean, even mine right now, I can only think of what? HHNH, you know what I'm saying? Hip Hop News, This is 50, that's been under construction for some time. DX Hip Hop, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that many of them. You see what I'm saying? And even less news broadcasters, black news broadcasters, distributors, you know, this, that, and the third. Podcasts are the ones who are in this space right now. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. Shout out to me. Shout out to all the podcasters who are in the space of big business news broadcasting, all from your podcast business and entrepreneurship. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where it's at right now. That's why you think so many people are launching podcasts, including myself. But you have to have a niche. But as usual, it is your man's Moo Man on the mic. I want to thank y'all so much once again for listening to the podcast, and I'm going to see y'all on the next episode. Let's go.